To the surprise of nobody, Concord is already being shut down by Sony. Now, I can't imagine why such a thing would happen. Oh, well, the character design first and foremost, but I'm going to get into that. This is the last page of Concord that I could find on the internet. It's actually been removed off of Sony. All of the information related to the game has been scrubbed from the archive. So if you go to look up anything related to Concord and game Sony, you're not going to be able to find anything. It's deleted, scrubbed from the archives. You can't find anything. So all the information from this game has been removed, and we do still have the Steam page, although if you go on the Steam app, it's actually, you can't find it. So this may be the last of Concord. Now, I have some theories about this, but I just want to talk about why I think it didn't succeed. So, hero shooters have been popular for about 10-ish years now, Team Fortress 2 being a game that kind of kicked off this whole craze. Team Fortress 2 is a really great game that came out a long time ago. This is Team Fortress 2. It's been around and it's free. Now, this came in 2007 and it started to pick up into the early 2010s. Concord came out and it was charging people in Canadian dollars $49.99, which is just crazy. You could also purchase the deluxe edition of Concord for $89.99 Canadian, and this would get you some extra skins, the game, and some extra skins. So I already see a big problem here with a lot of hero shooters already being out there, like Overwatch being one of the most popular, Overwatch 2, the successor and similar game to Overwatch 1, as well as things like Valorant just being released on console, and those games are free. Valorant is a whole lot of fun, and it's now just being released onto Xbox and PlayStation. And yeah, it's got a huge dedicated player base, and it's got cool heroes. Now, one of the big glaring issues with this game was the character designs that people just really didn't like. This kind of looks like Master Chief, but I don't know. I'm not even going to get into that. And the character design just didn't look very inspired. Like, it honestly, to me, this looks like someone just went in a character design and just hit randomize multiple times and just tried to spit out whatever characters they could come up with and just went with it. Or maybe it was AI generated and they just, I really don't know what they were thinking when it came to the character designs. I'm going to go over all the character designs before it gets removed from the internet. But another thing with it is it didn't even reach 700 players. So Lord of the Rings Gollum did better than Concord did. There's 32 players playing right now, which means that it's a 5v5. So there's only 3 lobbies in a game that released less than 2 weeks ago. That is insane. I bet Team Fortress 2 has never dipped below 32 players in its entire runtime, which is just insane to think. So it hit its peak right after launch, and yeah, it was just straight downhill after that. And I feel like the majority of people playing were content creators looking to just spitball at it. So it's been a complete disaster for Sony. And this game has been estimated to cost, I've been seeing figures of 100 million upwards to 200 million to make. I honestly think at this point Sony would have been better off just taking $200 million and giving $1 million to 200 random people. It would have been a much better success for them to do that than come up with a game like this that has got to be one of the lowest played games. Dustborn also came out to very low amount of players, but that's a whole other story. This is meant to be a multiplayer game, and when there's only 3 active lobbies at the moment, despite it is obviously being shut down, at max there's only 13 lobbies today in the 24-hour peak before it announced it was going to be closing down. I think this game was dead on arrival. Even after seeing the first trailer, I thought that this game was just going to be a flop, and to no surprise, it was a flop. So this is unfortunate to see. Sony liked this enough to buy out the studio, so that says something about their belief in this. I will be going over some reviews here that people talked about that played it. There's some people that already have like 24 hours, a full day in Concord. Well, it's dead. And the character design, I'll be talking about a few different things here, but let's just dive into some of the reviews here. I was going through a lot of these, obviously product refunded. This person with 24 hours has said it's at 6 to 10 at worst, and they have been playing it for quite some time, so they got a feel for what it could be at max. Did this need 8 years to develop? No. It feels like a game that would have been a 7 or 8 about a decade ago, but now is a symbol of the stagnant the industry has become. That is one thing that I thought about this game, is the development time obviously is to its own detriment, because 7, 8 years ago, if we look back, that's when hero shooters like Overwatch were extremely popular and lots of people were raving about them. And they didn't have many competitors. Like Fortnite, not even being a competitor to hero shooters, is a free-to-play game that offers a variety of different game modes that people enjoy. Fortnite started to rise up around that time, and then other games like Overwatch and Valorant. There's endless games. Even Marvel Rivals is coming out later this year, and its own testing has way more players than this game could have ever imagined. So this is a long review. I've read through some of these previously, and yeah, a lot of people were saying at best, this guy's got 40 hours. Combat is fun, yeah, but good God, I've never came across some characters as hideous as these, which we'll be getting into next, because I think that is probably the main reason for this massive fail. Like, yeah, it's incredible. The ugliest of all is ITZ. This is the guy from Stevens. Yeah, the character designs are just downright awful. Like, there's people that have 2 whole days in this game, 48 hours. The only multiplayer shooter I've enjoyed so much in forever, with the characters I learned grew on me. They also are having the Secret Levels TV show is going to be having a Concord episode, which is just absolutely mind-boggling to me that they went all in on this. Sony also had a bunch of videos on their YouTube channel talking about the characters, building up the lore behind them, and the lore that not a lot of people really seem to care about. There is obviously some very passionate fans out there, and all the power to them, but this game, just completely a big failure, unfortunately. This person had hours in the beta. They refunded. We got multiple people with over a day playing this game, and this came out not even 2 weeks ago. So these people would have been putting in 3-4 hours a day playing this game, and we got a real review here with only a third of an hour. He's got 20 minutes in the game, boring characters, boring modes, boring gunfights. Now, I will say the game did look quite fun. If this game came out like 10 years ago, it's got combat that looks all right as far as hero shooters go. The biggest problem that I've seen with this game is the movement seemed extremely slow. So that is another problem, is with games nowadays coming out with really fast-paced gameplay, doing something like, obviously that was just making the most of the scene, but yeah, the gameplay looked incredibly slow. Like, the characters move around like slow, and tank characters even worse. I don't know. I just think that this gameplay looks uninspired to me. But yeah, a lot of the reviews obviously being not recommended. Steam has shown me some of the more recommended ones, and yeah, it's obviously been a dead on arrival game. But the character designs, this is probably the coolest character in my book, in my opinion, and it's a freaking garbage can. It's a robot, and it's the coolest looking character, honestly, which is just straight up sad. So this guy's supposed to be like a vacuum cleaner sucking up things and shoots it back at them. He's the coolest one off. And we also have Star Child, which, another thing with this game is it honestly feels like it was something akin to like Guardians of the Galaxy, but way worse. Honestly, so much worse. Like, this is just disgusting, uninspired character design. I don't even know, like, he's obviously some alien type, but yeah, just ugly, unfortunately. And some of the other characters here, it doesn't even have, I guess, all of them, but Lennox here, this is kind of like the main one that I've seen posted around, just like an alien guy. I don't know, with this weird life jacket thing. He was more like I can't remember the name of the Overwatch revolver guy, but that was the play style that he's meant to be like. And yeah, just, I don't know what it is. These characters literally to me just look like they hit randomize and we're like, yep, that looks good to me, and they just posted it up. So they're like, this is probably the best looking character that I could find in this game, and I mean, nothing really unique about it. This is supposed to be like a warlock type character from Destiny, and even Destiny has a free game. Like, now you can play PvP in Destiny and it's free. So they aren't competing with any of these, unfortunately. Like, the character designs were just extremely ugly. They've had this game in development for quite some time too, 7-8 years, and it sold 2,500 units, with 10,000 being on Steam and 1,500 on PlayStation. So Concord character designs were probably the worst part about this. So let's look at some of the further ones just so you get a feel for what this is. But yeah, like some of them look all right, but like I don't know. It literally just feels like a randomizer was sit. And the names, they crack me up. Lark. There's like one named Glorb. It spits in the face of all fans of people that like games that are hero shooters. This was just a catastrophic fail. So yeah, like there's some Jabali. He looks pretty cool. And also, yeah, like I won't even get into some of the more specifics of these character designs, but and characters themselves. But geez, the characters were so ugly and just felt like it was. I don't even know how to describe it, but just to compare First Descended characters versus Concord. So if you look at First Descended characters, they are obviously people have been talking about it, how the first Ascendant character models look really great and for obvious reasons. But if you just look at these and compare it to what we got from Concord, it becomes apparent why this game has been quite a success compared to Concord. So yeah, not every character has to be super attractive and good looking, but like people want to play as obviously that and cool badass looking characters, which you don't get in this game. Like I can't, as I said, the trash robot's probably the coolest character in this game. When you got people like Amari, she, her, Da, he, him, like just awful character design overall. So yeah, I really was hopeful that Sony could put something together for this, but gamers speak loud. This game should have came out 7 to 8 years ago, and it should have had more inspired character designs when there's games like this that are releasing that are free to play. So yeah, I just want to give some thoughts on this whole Concord debacle, because it's sad that it got shut down. But I mean, hey, there's a clear reason for this. This game was dead on arrival the moment the first trailer dropped for it. So yeah, I just want to give my thoughts on that, because I was thinking about maybe getting it just for the memes, but yeah, I don't even think it was worth spending the $50 Canadian, and the deluxe version costing $90 Canadian is just crazy. But yep, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.